They say there is a hidden kingdom, untouched by time, unseen by mortal eyes, and unknown to history's maps. A place of radiant light, infinite wisdom, and perfect harmony. A realm said to exist somewhere beyond the snowy peaks of the Himalayas. A place whispered of in ancient prophecies, the legendary city of Shambhala. For centuries, explorers, mystics, and seekers of truth have searched for this lost city. Some claimed to have seen its golden gates shimmering in the mist of dawn. Others vanished trying to find it. Tibetan monks spoke of it in hushed tones, calling it the source of the eternal light. Russian mystics like Nicholas Roerich swore that invisible guides led them near its borders. And yet, to this day, no map, no satellite, no expedition has ever truly found it. But what if Shambhala isn't a place that can be reached by foot, but a state of consciousness? What if the ancient texts were never speaking of geography, but of enlightenment itself, hidden within the human soul? Tonight, we step beyond myth and enter the veil of mystery itself. In this video, we will explore the origins and secrets of Shambhala, its ancient roots in Buddhist and Hindu prophecy, the esoteric meaning behind its golden gates and radiant city, why it has remained hidden from humanity for thousands of years, and most importantly, how this kingdom of light may exist within you. This is not just a journey across mountains or deserts. It's a journey inward, through the layers of illusion, the echoes of forgotten civilizations, and the memories of the soul. Because perhaps the real secret of Shambhala is that it was never lost at all. Now, let us open the ancient map, not of the earth but of the spirit, and follow the path to the mysterious lost city of Shambhala. To understand the mystery of Shambhala, we must travel far beyond modern history, into the golden age of myth, where gods walked among men, and knowledge was transmitted not through books but through symbols, dreams, and vibration. The first known mention of Shambhala appears in the Kala Chakra Tantra, one of the most secret and sacred teachings of Tibetan Buddhism. It describes Shambhala as a hidden kingdom of light, a pure land where every being lives in harmony with divine law. The texts say it is ruled by the Kalki kings, each a guardian of sacred wisdom who protects humanity through cycles of darkness and light. But even older echoes of Shambhala appear in Hindu tradition, where it is called the birthplace of Kalki, the final avatar of Vishnu, destined to appear at the end of the age of chaos to restore dharma, truth, and order. In both traditions, Shambhala is not simply a mythic paradise. It is the cosmic center of balance, the heart of spiritual evolution for all of humanity. Through the centuries, seekers from every corner of the world have searched for it. The Chinese spoke of Shitian, the western heaven. The Persians told tales of a hidden valley of immortals called Ariana Vaeja. And in Western mysticism, echoes of Shambhala resurface under new names: Agartha, Eden, Atlantis reborn. Each tradition points to the same secret: a hidden world of perfection, existing just beyond the veil of the physical. A world said to reveal itself only to those whose hearts are pure and whose minds are awakened. Philosophically, Shambhala represents the eternal tension between the visible and the invisible, the material and the divine. To the uninitiated, it is a legend. To the mystic, it is a symbol of the inner world, where human consciousness meets cosmic truth. Tibetan lamas often taught that one cannot find Shambhala by walking, sailing, or flying. It reveals itself only through the awakening of spiritual perception. It is said to exist in the same place where the gods dwell, not in another dimension, but in another frequency of reality. Yet the story doesn't end there. In the 20th century, explorers such as Nicholas Roerich and Ferdinand Ossendowski claimed to have heard whispers of Shambhala from Himalayan monks. They spoke of radiant beings who guard its entrances, and of invisible lights that appear to travelers who wander too close. Many believe that Shambhala is not a single city, but a network of sacred centers, hidden deep within the earth, connected through tunnels of energy, guarded by enlightened masters known as the Great White Brotherhood. And so Shambhala exists at the crossroads of myth, prophecy, and metaphysics, a symbol of what humanity once was and what it might yet become. For to find Shambhala is to rediscover the original light of creation itself. The secret of Shambhala has never been about geography. It is about frequency. Every myth that endures hides a truth that cannot be spoken directly, one that must be awakened within. Shambhala, in this sense, is not a city of gold built upon the earth's surface, but a radiant field of consciousness existing just beyond the threshold of human perception. Imagine for a moment that the world we see, the mountains, rivers, stars, and sky, is only a fraction of what truly exists. The ancient mystics taught that reality is layered, like veils upon veils. Behind the visible world lies a luminous realm vibrating at a higher resonance, where thought becomes form, and energy flows freely. Shambhala, they said, is the heart of that hidden world. In Tibetan philosophy, this concept was never meant to be taken literally as a physical kingdom. Instead, it was a metaphor for the state of enlightenment itself, the moment when one transcends duality and perceives the divine order hidden within chaos. To reach Shambhala, therefore, one must raise their vibration, not climb mountains. It requires stillness of the mind, purity of the heart, and alignment with the cosmic rhythm that underlies all existence. But there is more. The Kalachakra Tantra speaks of Shambhala as the center of an invisible mandala, a sacred geometric pattern that governs both the microcosm and the macrocosm. This mandala, they say, exists not only in the heavens, but within the human being. Every soul carries within it a map, a mirror of Shambhala, hidden in the energy centers known as chakras. When the inner energies are balanced, when karma is purified, and when awareness transcends the illusion of separation, the gates of Shambhala open within. In this light, Shambhala becomes a symbol of the perfected human being, the individual who has harmonized spirit and matter, destiny and will. Such a person becomes a bridge between worlds, a living reflection of the Golden City. Many initiates of ancient traditions hinted at this. The Egyptians spoke of the fields of Aru, accessible only through spiritual transformation. The Hermetic philosophers called it the light of the mind. The Hindus described it as the lotus of the heart, blooming when divine awareness awakens. Shambhala is all of these. It is the remembrance of our origin and the blueprint of our evolution. Those who have touched this state, whether through deep meditation, near-death experiences, or mystical vision, often describe a realm of indescribable harmony, a place where sound and color merge into pure awareness, where beings of radiant light move with infinite grace, and where knowledge flows like living energy. It is said that from Shambhala emanates a subtle current of vibration that influences human consciousness. This energy, known as the Shambhalic current, quietly guides humanity toward evolution, awakening minds, inspiring peace, and balancing the cycles of civilization. Even in times of great darkness, this current never fades. It is the hidden pulse of the world, the invisible hand that ensures light always returns. So when the legends speak of finding Shambhala, they are not calling us to expedition, but to initiation. To the realization that the gates we seek in the mountains are carved within our own soul, because the real journey to Shambhala begins not in the Himalayas, but in the heart. If the first veil of Shambhala reveals it as a state of consciousness, the second unveils a deeper mystery, one that transcends even spiritual allegory. Throughout history, there have been whispers that Shambhala is not merely symbolic, but interdimensional, a hidden realm existing parallel to our own, vibrating at a frequency just beyond the human spectrum. Ancient texts describe it as a place half in this world, half beyond it. Not heaven, not earth, but a bridge between both. In modern language, we might call it a higher dimensional field, a realm of light vibrating so rapidly that physical matter as we know it cannot exist. The beings who dwell there, called Mahatmas, Shining Ones, or Luminous Masters, are said to have transcended physical form entirely. yet they continue to influence our world through thought, energy, and synchronicity. This idea isn't unique to Buddhism. Across the globe, myths echo the same truth. The Celts spoke of Avalon, a luminous island veiled in mist, accessible only to the pure of heart. The Greeks described Hyperborea, a radiant northern land untouched by time. The Hindus told of Siddhashram, a hidden realm where sages still dwell in meditation. All are reflections of the same truth, that there exist higher planes of existence, realms of consciousness so refined they appear invisible to our physical senses. Some esoteric schools teach that Shambhala is the central sun of Earth's spiritual system, a kind of metaphysical power station, radiating light and wisdom into all dimensions of being. Its energy flows through ley lines and vortices, the same pathways used by ancient civilizations to build temples, pyramids, and sacred monuments. These sites, aligned with stars and cosmic geometry, are said to be anchors of the Shambhalic current, connecting heaven and earth. In this sense, Shambhala may be the energetic heart of the planet, the unseen temple from which balance and guidance emanate across epochs. There are also profound psychological and philosophical interpretations. Carl Jung, fascinated by Eastern mysticism, once wrote that humanity carries within it the archetype of the hidden city, a symbol of the soul's wholeness, the ultimate union of the conscious and unconscious mind. To him, Shambhala was not a place outside us, but the deepest center of the psyche, the divine self striving to awaken within matter. And perhaps both are true. Perhaps Shambhala is a real realm and an inner mirror, a truth existing simultaneously in spirit and psyche, as above, so below. Interestingly, modern physics is beginning to echo these ancient insights. Quantum theory suggests multiple dimensions interwoven with our own, unseen but profoundly real. Frequency determines visibility. Energy creates form. Could Shambhala then be a higher frequency world, real but vibrating just beyond perception? The Dalai Lama himself has said that while Shambhala cannot be found on a map, it can be reached by those whose karma and wisdom are ripe. This statement perfectly captures the paradox. Shambhala is not hidden from us. We are hidden from it. Our vibration, clouded by ignorance, fear, and attachment, prevents us from perceiving what is always here. To glimpse Shambhala is to pierce the veil of duality, to realize that light and matter, heaven and earth, are one continuum of consciousness. This understanding transforms the myth into a map. It tells us that the Golden City is not a lost civilization. It is a living frequency, a symphony of divine order playing eternally, waiting for humanity to remember its tune. And so, Shambhala continues to whisper through dreams, meditation, synchronicity, and the timeless pull toward something greater, an inner compass pointing home. Because what if the ancient masters were right? What if Shambhala never vanished, but simply waits for us to awaken enough to see it? If Shambhala is both a state of consciousness and an interdimensional realm, then the path to it cannot be walked. It must be awakened. Every ancient tradition that spoke of Shambhala also described a path of preparation, a series of inner disciplines designed to tune the seeker's vibration to the frequency of light. The journey begins not with maps or mountains, but with mastery of awareness. The first step is stillness. You cannot perceive a higher frequency while the lower one roars within you. The mind must be silenced, not through suppression, but through observation. Sit in quiet. Watch your thoughts like clouds moving across the sky. Notice how, when you stop chasing them, they dissolve on their own. This is the first gate. As stillness deepens, a subtle presence begins to emerge. A luminous awareness that is not you observing, but you being observed by something higher. It is said that this presence is the beginning of Shambhala revealing itself within. The second step is alignment. In Tibetan mysticism, the mandala of Shambhala is not just a symbol, it is an instruction. Every circle and triangle represents an aspect of the inner world that must come into harmony: the body, the emotions, the intellect, and the soul. Try this. Visualize yourself standing in the center of a radiant mandala. Around you, lines of sacred geometry spiral outward, each representing an aspect of your life. As you breathe, imagine golden light flowing through these lines, clearing discord, aligning chaos into harmony. Feel the world around you beginning to resonate with that inner order. You are not imagining Shambhala. You are remembering it. The third step is service. The teachings say that the light of Shambhala reveals itself only to those who act as its reflection in the world. To live selflessly, to serve without expectation, is to become transparent enough for divine light to shine through. Every act of compassion, every thought of understanding, is a vibration that draws you closer to its realm. The fourth step is presence. Carry the awareness of Shambhala into every moment. Walking, eating, speaking. Treat the world as sacred, the ordinary as divine. The more you see holiness in the mundane, the thinner the veil becomes between this world and that hidden one. When your heart begins to vibrate with gratitude and wonder, the frequencies of the two worlds begin to merge. Finally, there is the fifth step, surrender. You do not find Shambhala through effort. You dissolve into it through trust. Let go of seeking. Let go of striving. Simply rest in the awareness that what you seek is already present. The old masters would say, when the ego dies, Shambhala appears. It's not that the city suddenly emerges, it's that your eyes finally adjust to the light. In practical terms, this means integrating spiritual practice into daily life, mindful breathing, compassionate action, and moments of sacred stillness. You do not need a monastery or a mountain to find Shambhala. It unfolds wherever consciousness is awake. Because Shambhala is not a destination, it is a frequency you become. And when you live in that frequency, you begin to notice synchronicities, the right people appearing, guidance arriving at the perfect moment, peace radiating where once there was confusion. That is the whisper of Shambhala, not calling you toward it, but calling you back to what you have always been. And so we return to the beginning, to the question that has echoed through centuries of seekers and sages alike. Where is Shambhala? Some say it lies hidden deep within the Himalayas, behind walls of mist and time. Others believe it is buried beneath the sands of the Gobi Desert, or veiled by ancient technology that shields it from human sight. But those who have walked furthest along the inner path will tell you a different truth. Shambhala was never lost. We were. The city of radiant light exists not in another world, but within the silence of your own soul. It reveals itself not through conquest, but through remembrance. It is not a place to be reached, but a vibration to be matched. Every act of kindness, every breath taken in awareness, every moment you choose peace over chaos, these are the footsteps that lead you closer to its gates. Because Shambhala is not found, it awakens. It is the perfect balance between destiny and free will, between heaven and earth, between the light that shines above and the spark that glows within. Perhaps that is why the ancients called it the heart of the world. For when humanity's collective consciousness rises in harmony, when the noise of division fades into the silence of unity, Shambhala will no longer be myth. It will become our shared reality. In the end, the true mystery of Shambhala is not whether it exists, but whether we are ready to see it. It waits patiently, behind the veil of form, behind the illusion of separation, behind the heartbeat of time itself. And when the seeker finally becomes still enough, when the eyes turn inward instead of outward, the golden city will emerge, not on the horizon, but in the light behind the eyes. Because the gates of Shambhala do not open outward, they open within. So the question remains, are you searching for Shambhala in the world, or is Shambhala waiting for you to awaken to yourself?